Get started here in just 1 minute. Was that a valid 6 hour breaker block on the DXY? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. 6 hour on the DXY. Are we talking down in this area here? Aaron? You talking down here? You talking here? Option A? Option B? Or you could say it's option C, and then we'll go from there. On the left, okay. Breaker block. Here. Option C. I'll say good morning to everybody else while we're waiting. Ooh. Lyak? Is that what that name says? Of course, Aaron, David Koo, Luke Zaldania, Laura Lee, Grandmaster, Aiken Freezy. We're just trying to get Aaron's question answered. And then we'll dive into some regular stuff. Some regular standard affair kind of stuff. All right. Well, anyways, breaker block. Breaker block is essentially when you have, say you're coming up in an uptrend, you have a pullback, you snap up, you form a fair value gap. We come up into this area and we form some sort of a top. We break that top, we back test. We slam down, and then we look to trade short out of here. That is a breaker block. Post a chart in Discord. Oh, that'll help. That'll help. That'll help a ton. Love from India. I wonder if Tanvir is up in here. Chat. 6 hour. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it is. I suppose that does make it a valid 6 hour breaker block. Let's go take a closer look and see if we can find maybe a I don't know, like a different. Let me delete this before it gets in my way. And so he's got this 6 hour candle right here, if memory serves me correctly, marked as his resistance. Boom. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Let me drop down. I like it. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, that looks pretty valid to me, man. Looks pretty valid to me. If I had to, if I had to pick on it for anything, if I had to pick on it for anything, I would just think to myself that like that's a pretty small breaker given the context of this, how large this overall sort of range of price is. Now, having said that, I mean, I'm just like, in other words, if I were to actually execute a trade off of a breaker block, I wouldn't use something like that. It's yeah, from November of last year, and its overall size. I don't know though. I mean, whatever. Listen, it's valid. It's valid. I'm just, yeah, whatever. I'm blabbing. I'm blabbing. Anyways, back to Bitcoin. Um, all right, so back to Bitcoin. This is the area that we were looking for. A long off of 10 to or 15 to 30 minute transition in structure. Transition wasn't perfect. Okay, it wasn't picture perfect, but here we are on the 15-minute time frame. It's not picture perfect because this low, it never took that low. Um, so that doesn't, I mean, that's not picture perfect, but I mean, I think it suffices to say that that is close enough to the indication I was looking for that we would run this high. Which is, is what it just is what it is. Like there's not much of a trade in this for me outside of being awake at like, the middle of the night or something like that. There's not much of a trade in this area for like in this area for me. I don't think there's anything I like. Let's go to the 1 minute. Let's just double check. No. Nope. Nope, there's nothing I like in here. There's nothing I like in here. The only thing I like in here is this. And I don't even love it. No, I hate that. No, I don't like that. I mean, I guess I don't have to like it. If it confirms, it confirms. That would be is that about a 5 minute? Oh, God, no, it's poor. It's poor. Oh, I really don't like it. No, I really, really don't. No, I hate it. I hate it. See, I don't even like that. I don't even like that. Yeah, we'll take a look at Jup. Lucky Deal, what's up? Grandmaster 8, Anthony Soprano. And Fine, Tom Lee. Yeah, let's take a look at JUP because on Bitcoin, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to even think if there's nothing locally I want a piece of. Is there anything far? Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. No, there's a good chance I personally won't be true. Well, maybe tomorrow. I could potentially see a Bitcoin trade tomorrow, but I don't see one on the chart for me today. See, I kind of almost have to perform a whole nother initiation and then look for a whole nother mitigation. Um, yeah, yeah, I pretty much need all of that before I have another trade. And that probably won't happen until tomorrow. So let's just go look at JUP. JUP, where you at? Where you at? Mm, 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 mm. So I can tell by the breadcrumbs I left myself. We were looking at a potential rotation off of this low back to this high. Never made it out of that section of supply. SFP'd the next range. Down we go. It's got a little bit of a bear flag forming. We pull any of this stuff. Mm. Mm. Let's see what we can cook up on this. Let's see what we can cook up on this. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Oh, she's in a tough position. Everything gets so much easier if you sweep this low one more time. It gets so much easier. That is the ideal place that I would like to get involved. That is the ideal place. What are we on the 4 hour? Hmm. All right, let's go take a look at this. I'm just gonna say it again, guys. Whatever. Just give me trend lines. It's fine. This situation that is like brewing on all these charts right here is just not. It's just not ideal. God, it's not ideal. The only thing good that this chart has for it is this right here. And that's not even that great. Man, that's not even that great. All right. So we've got a 4 hour order block right above us. I think for Jupe, I am going to recommend one thing. Should probably be that. I would want to see it. I'd want to see it take this last 4 hour high and then roll over, break the 4 hour low. Back test in there would be sweet, and I'd be looking to trade that down to 43 cents. That's one I'd be looking at. That's on the 4 hour time frame. If we go and take a look at that range on something smaller, do we have anything more interesting in it? Let's go like the 5 in here. Interesting. I wish I could delete this from the chart. Yeah, I really do. Yeah, I really do. That is this does not look good to confirm this short off of. This price action right here actually makes me think we're gonna break up. But that's okay. That's okay. Breaking up isn't too bad. But I'm still leaving this on here. Absolutely still leaving that on there. I might even set an alert on it. So if we continue to go up and we're building that much bottom side liquidity, like what needs to happen with this thing? God, it needs to come down and take some liquidity so bad. Oh. I'm not so sure it's capable of doing it right here. Yeah, you have support right underneath this. So pro trend is going to be pro trend is kind of attempting to make a long from this area to this area. That would be pro trend. But see, we don't really have a great reason to go back down to 55 cents right now. So we have already initiated and mitigated and continued. So we don't really have a good reason to come back here right now. You know what? I think for this one, I'm just going to stick to that short. I'm just going to stick to that short. I have no idea whether it's going to confirm or not. What I'm looking for is a 4 hour candle body close, and then I'm probably going to need a reconfirmation because it has that 3 hour demand block right underneath it. So probably want to see, yeah, I'd like to see a 4-hour candle body close more than 50% of the way through this. Right, something more than 50% of the way through it. And then I'd like to see about 5-minute structure back test and fail. And then I would be looking to I'd be looking to short. Yeah, yeah, I would be looking to short. I think that's all I'm gonna do for JUP though. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do anything else on that. PolyX really took off and then tanked. Can you take a look at RSR? RSR, huh? My entry for Jupe is at 56 cents on 32X. 56 cents at 32X. Well, definitely de-risk. There's no reason to lose money here. The buy up on this wick is encouraging. Because it's almost like, like this low, give me my pencil tool again. This low had a job to do. Its job was to take out that high. It did not take out that high, placing weakness upon the low. Price returns to the low, fails to close above the low, placing weakness back on the equal highs. I would still definitely de-risk it, but I think there's a very high probability that price hits like 60 cents today. Yeah, I think there's a very high probability of that. But you should nonetheless de-risk your trade. If you want my opinion, you should de-risk your trade. All right, and then what we're going to do, RSR. RSR, I would have probably done it on Bybit. Boy, that's interesting. All right, well, none of that information was too helpful for me over there. So let's go see what we have a little bit more locally. Well, it's just current price. Price currently trading into daily order block. Just drop to the 4. Strong transition in 4-hour structure occurred down here. This is the area I'd also ultimately like to see mitigated. Oh, God, it could take the low if it comes all the way down there. Yeah. Yep. This price action here just looks pretty fragile to me. It's a bullish move, but it looks pretty fragile. Let's go to 15. Right now, I would presume that this demand right here holds, and that we come up and we take this high out. But I would watch for a loss of momentum after that happens. Watch for a loss of momentum. In other words, a failure to clear that high and then a return to break the low. That's something I would watch for right here, because this stuff right here is a big problem. And I would, yeah, I'd also I'd second that and say that this stuff right here is a pretty big problem. Also, yeah, I'd look for this. I think it's a little too far up. It's gone on too big of a run for too long for me to want to look for longs. It feels like trading into premium at this point. But I'd be about there with it. Yeah, I'd be about there with it. Let's go back to the 4. Okay, so that's a daily order block, but it doesn't look so great on the 4-hour time frame. 6, it doesn't look so great. It only really looks good on the daily. Interesting. I just wonder if there's something inside of this. Oh, there's some decent stuff in there. There is some decent stuff in there. Well, that's interesting. And not overly encouraging either. No, that looks a little bit more like it. Yeah. And then where's price currently? Down there, comes up again, pulls the high. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Something like that is what Yep. Yep. There's where I'm at on RSR. I mean, there is a potential, there's a small potential of something else happening. Well, I mean, I don't know about small, but there's this potential. There's a potential that you already broke your 10, if not 15 minute. Is that a 15? Yes. So no, it's 10. We got to stick with the 10. So there's a potential that you already broke your 10-minute time frame, and that you are setting your lower high here. Right? There's a potential that you already broke a 10-minute time frame and you're setting your lower high here. That is a potential. I'd be a lot more confident in the trade if it worked out in the way I was originally proposing. I'd be much more confident about that than I would be about this. I'd be more confident about the other one for sure. But I feel like this one might be loading up for a short right now. That's what I feel like. That's what my gut tells me. That's what my technical analysis tells me, I suppose. Okay, what else we got over here in chat? Confirmations. Oh shit. If we have time to check SPX, we absolutely have time to check it. I believe we have time to check SPX. We do have time to check SPX. I don't think my TA is going to be overly different than it was on RSR or really anything else at this point. But SPX is what you said, SPX. Unless this one just happens to be moving completely different to the rest of the market. Oh, and it is. And it is. Yeah, and it is. So that's good. Can we like delete all this? Do we need any of this stuff? No, not particularly. Let's just delete all this stuff. Let's understand that we had a range of price from here to here. And let's see. The trouble is those that no, I don't even want to look at that range. Let's just look at our most local range. Oh, you didn't? Are you serious? Did you not take that low? Okay. Yeah. I mean, really, the further I get in here, the more it looks just like the other chart. The more it looks just like the other chart. You do have this going for it. You did take that range low. I'm sure you returned your 4-hour structure to bullish inside of that. Sure enough. Sure enough. So a similar thing. I still think the trade that has more legs on it is the long. I still think it has more legs on it. So there's a long trade coming out of there. Oh, man. Interesting. 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 Boy, I wish there was a lot more liquidity on this. I'd make more confident statements if there were, but unfortunately, there really isn't. Or the liquidity's not on Bybit, one of the two. I think this is a short. Yeah, I think this is a short. I think that long may not come until down here. Didn't we talk about a long out of here? No? Well, I guess we're going to now. I think I'd be looking for long as soon as 21 cents. But I think I would prefer to long at 20 cents. Yeah, I think I'd much prefer to long at 20 cents. Trouble is that stop loss really needs to be clear up there. And there's nothing that is structurally confirmed to short this. There's been no loss of structure up here to really confirm that trade. And let's see, for the long, yeah, I think I need at least 15-minute structure coming out of this area. And again, that's anywhere in this area. Ideally as low as 20 cents, but I'll take but a 15-minute shift in structure out of that area I think would be pretty relevant. Let's see. Oh, Alex O Crypto. Alex O Crypto is here, guys. Brian Sanchez, Andrew Cameron, Look Deal, Mavia. Ain't heard of that one in a bit. Ain't heard of Mavia in a bit. Let's go take a look at some Mavia. Mavia. I would have done it on Bybit. Bro, this thing looks dead as a drowning duck. You ever seen a duck drown? I haven't either. But that's probably exactly what it would look like. Looks like it's in its death throes. It looks like it's in its death throes. Like there's so little money left, or like so little liquidity left in the asset that somebody took like a $1,000 long position and it just shot the price up 500% because somebody threw $1,000. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like there's so little liquidity in it that like I bet you somebody with a $10,000 portfolio could move the price on this. But whatever, let's get in here and do some TA on the sucker. I don't think I would, man, I don't know if I'd recommend trading this. So it's like, yeah, whatever. We have some breaks in structure, some return to bullish. We've returned to a prior demand range. We've done kind of like the initiation, mitigation, potential continuation kind of sitch on here. You have a 4-hour order block with imbalance that sits right here. I might need to take a phone call. Always with the plumbers, bro. Always with the plumbers. Oh, you know what? No, that's right. My appointment with those plumbers is later today. Okay, and then so essentially you have a local range of price that exists between this high and this low. Let's see what time frame that's on. About your 15-minute. And you're in some manner of resistance right now. But what is structure telling us? Structure is telling us that we have initiated, we have mitigated, we have reflipped structure for continuation. Structure is currently bullish. So shorting this doesn't make sense. Yeah, like longing this made way more sense than shorting anything currently. And so I think for a long, for me, because you're at the equilibrium of the local 15-minute range, right? So that's a hard pass on a long for me here. My long probably does not exist until I'm going to keep this safer. I'm going to stay on the safer side because this is kind of a wild chart. My long does not exist until another initiation occurs and then some manner of back tests for your initiation, mitigation, continuation. My long doesn't exist until over here, and my short does not exist until either A, a fail of this high, or B, a break of this low. So, we're already on the 15-minute time frame. You would have to utilize something like 5 or 10-minute structure to confirm a fail of the range high. So that would be, probably something along these lines. With a, the bigger the better. I mean, maybe you can actually widen out and get like some 10-minute structure coming up into an area like that. Maybe. But currently it looks like you're going to have to use the 2 to 5 minute market structure to confirm this. So we'll do 2. And I don't recommend, if you guys are not really pros at market structure, I never recommend using the 2. And I barely recommend using the 5, but this is just how I would look at it. 2 to 5 minute, 2 to 5 minute MS on that. Currently I only have one target for that trade. Currently I only have one target. So that would be one short. Another short would be you have to come up here, you have to hit this, and you have to lose this, and then I'd be looking to short down here, and I'd probably have some large targets on that. And then the long just hasn't for me, it just hasn't printed yet, even though I see that. I highly suspect that price is just going to continue to inchworm its way into this kind of direction. I have nowhere to logically place my stop loss on that, and so it's a hands off for me until I get to a more relevant place on the chart. That's just what I'm at. That's just what I'm at. But Alex, how can I be your hero if you're my hero? How does that work? Does that make us like Batman and Robin? Mm. Oh man, I want to dump my stream and go listen to CBO. I want to dump my stream and listen to CBO. But we'll it's 8:06. Let's hammer out some questions. Oh, Defiant. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? D'Angelo and Jeanette. Oh, does Jeanette will not work for the CIA anymore? All right, and yeah, I don't know. Poke around here a little bit and see what we've got. Man, you never mitigated that, did you? You bastard coin, you bastard. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I have very little to talk about. The positioning on the charts today is not my that and there will never be a confirmation on that. It's just not my cup of tea. It's just not my cup of tea, man. Nope. Nope, it's not. I don't have any local trades. Happy to do some TA on some other stuff. If you guys have questions, throw them out. If not, I'm like out of stuff to talk about. What was it? Oh, you know what? You know what? I lied. I have one more thing I want to talk about. Just give me charts, man. Just give me charts. I was looking, and I don't even know if this is gonna hold up, but I was looking at ES this morning and I was like, why does this look so much like Bitcoin? What's happening? Then let's see, ES over there. So let's get some Bitcoin over here. I mean, maybe I could just be fucking crazy. Could just be crazy. Okay, maybe let's go to the daily. Yeah, it was more of a remove all the drawings from this. More of like the sense that there's this like topping range here that we are like back testing into on the ES. Like there's just these I'm not saying it's like candle for candle or anything. I'm just saying like structurally it did I really delete all my ES drawings? Whatever. I don't know. There's just a little bit of similarity here. There's a little bit of uncanny similarity here, if you ask me. But that's it. I swear to God, I swear to you, I don't have anything else to talk about. And see, I would say that like this represents demand on Bitcoin. And this represented demand on the ES, that same sort of demand. ES has been mitigated and is going up. Bitcoin is anyway. Well, anyways, y'all need to give me something to talk about. How do you know which time frame to use when looking for a structure flip? Okay, so this is a really important question, and I don't know if it's something that I'm going to be able to answer with ease. But let's talk about this idea from yesterday, and we'll start to build examples off of that. Okay, so I said yesterday that we need a 15-minute structure here, right? So we need 15-minute structure here, and the reason for that, let's go to the 15-minute time frame. The reason for that is because I knew in order to achieve yesterday when we were looking at a long out of this area, I knew that in order to achieve that area on price, we would have to break the 15-minute time frame. Right? So if we have to break the 15-minute time frame to get down to here, then I'm not longing a 1 to 5 minute, 10-minute flip and market structure. That doesn't make any sense to me. I would have to see the 15-minute turn back around to justify targeting something like this. Another way to explain that is there a little area blank on the chart, right? So let's say we're coming up on our 15 and we break structure on our 15 and we hit into, hold on, let me redraw. This is because this is such a good question. So we come up, here's our demand. And then we'll just do something like this. So we break on our 15 and we want to trade out of demand back to the high. Right? Well, if you're under bearish 15-minute market structure, and then you see something like a 2-minute break in structure here, that 2-minute break in structure is likely only going to set a lower high. I would look at that as likely only setting a lower high out of the previously formed supply from the break on the 15, right? And so if we lose the 15-minute structure here, and we only regain like 5-minute structure, I'd rather that 5-minute structure fail for a continuation short. But if we lose the 15 here and then regain the 15 on this bottom, well, then the 15 is printing weak highs, right? And so I'm wanting to target up to here. Whereas, if I only have like the 5-minute printing weak highs, but the 15-minute low is still weak, then I'm waiting for the 5-minute structure to fail to take me back to the 15-minute low. Now there was another one. What were we just looking at? Was it Mavia? So in here, I'm saying like 2 to 5-minute MS, right? Now this is, if I'm not mistaken, we are forming what was that low that we were forming? Was it a 15-minute low? Might be a little bit higher still. Might be a little bit higher still. Is that a 30-minute low? Yes. 45. Yes. 90-minute. Yeah, so you're pushing about a 1-hour range here. And so, when I think about using the 2 to 5 minute here, the reason that I think about using the 2 to 5 minute structure in this specific example is because I don't have I have one piece of 5-minute structure, and it exists right there. That's the only piece of 5-minute structure I have. And so which then means that all of this is a lower time frame structure than the 5. This all exists down on like the 2-minute. This is all like 2-minute structure here. Barely at that. It's really about 1-minute structure in here. And so if I'm trading, yeah, 1-minute structure, dude, 1-minute structure, like you have got to babysit the charts, but that, and yeah, I don't know. Let's see, what would be another good example? Okay, so let's say that we are continuation trading an uptrend, and this uptrend exists on the 15-minute time frame, right? Let's say that this uptrend exists on the 15-minute time frame. And we've been seeing that RIMC has been working, right? So let's draw a couple more humps in here. If I can pull this off, boom, 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 boom. All right, so we're in a 15-minute uptrend. Well, we're in an uptrend and we have structure on the 15-minute, and that structure on the 15-minute is indicating that it's been doing a very good job of coming back for RIMC the whole time, right? Well, I'm not going to get a 15-minute confirmation down here. It's not going to happen, right? Because my 15-minute structure is already out here. So using a lower time frame on this bottom to this high is where I would I know I have to use something smaller than the 15. So it's like, I don't know, it's all continue to ask those questions and I'll continue to answer them. Hopefully that information helps. But it's all very situational as far as I'm concerned as to what I'll use where, when, why, and how. So just continue to answer the questions and hopefully I can continue to improve the understanding on it. Any thought on Trump coin and maybe having an ETF? Are you talking about this thing having an ETF? Are we talking about this thing? Hold the phone. Hold the phone. You're not talking about this thing having an ETF, are you? This thing? I don't mean to be. I'm not. I hope I didn't come off as rude. I really never mean to come off as rude. I just. I said that because I was like, I don't know. I don't think I know what Jeanette's talking about. And I was just looking for guidance. That's all. Um, but as far as when it. Oh my God, I can send them to CVO, bro. You got to show me how to do these things. I'm in. You got to talk to me like five, bro. I'm an idiot. Um, My only thought about an ET, I don't know. I don't. I don't think this gets an ETF. If this is the coin, I don't think this gets an ETF. How to? We're gonna Google how to send people to another stream. How do you do this? Go to Studio, click Content, go to the Live tab, hover over the live video you want to. Oh, good Lord. That's going to be a project for another day. That's going to be a project for another day. All right, I am going to go get on because I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I really left anybody hanging and didn't answer their question. And if I did, this is like your opportunity to tell me I did that so I can make up for it. IO. I don't do fundamental technical analysis, D'Angelo, but I'll look at the chart. I never expect to see prices like this again. That much I'll tell you. I think you can kiss those days goodbye or save them for a decade in the future if the project survives. Oh yeah, because it's Wednesday and CVO streams on Wednesdays. I gotta get everybody's schedules down so I stop interrupting people. And then, I mean, like it looks nice that it pulled this low over here. Like I appreciate that, but I'm not, I am not so convinced that it's gonna make it past an area like this. Yeah, I'm not so convinced it makes it past an area like that. I wouldn't be surprised if it fails this. Okay, now the TA's actually gotten pretty decent in here. Pretty decent in here. I would look for if we can break 1946 with 4-hour candle body close. Looks like very possible. Looks very possible. Then I would look to long this area as demand up to supply. Probably a boarding trade, could take days. I would look for that. Up to you to refine the risk reward on that, and I would look to short out of this area. And potentially all the way back down to there. Yep, that's what I think about this chart for the coming weeks or whatever. Yeah, we can take a quick look at Atom. I think the position is going to be pretty similar with a lot of these things. That'll be my last one, and then we're all going to go watch CVO. We should be watching CVO right now. Whatever, just delete all this. Just delete all this. So this local leg of price after you broke your 8-hour structure right down here placed weakness on your high. So this high is very targeted. directly on top of that. Well, no, I take that back. It's not directly on top of it, but not too far up from it is supply. And I think there's a short to be had out of supply. Is demand going to remain in control? And this short only takes you to a higher low, not a lower low, a higher low, quite possibly. Yeah, quite possibly. You had another local range in here that broke up. And that be this guy right here. Yeah, pulled the low, snapped the high, up we go. Can we long it up to the high? Is that possible? No. This may already be heading down. There's nothing I love inside of here. Nope, nothing I love inside of here. All I can say right now is that 15-minute is bearish. Come on now. 15-minute is bearish, and possibly coming for this low. But anyways, YouTube Studio. We're gonna figure out how to do this. I'm gonna at least take a crack at it. YouTube Studio, click content. I think no, YouTube Studio. Let's go now. Don't make me log into it. That'd be so dumb. Content. Live tab. Okay. Hover over the video on a redirect on, click redirect. I'm hovering. View in live control room, huh? Fuck is that? I always wondered how to get to this page. But no, I don't see it there either. Hover over the video you want to redirect from. Click customization under redirect. Click add. I don't see the whole. I hovered and I didn't get anything. That's okay. We'll just boomer problems. Analytics, details, live control panel, options, get shareable link, delete forever. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, but what I do get is I get to go to work now. That's what I do get. Yeah, still super boring over there. All right, adios amigos.